Brookline.
Here we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Fun Show here at Big TV. I thought you were going to play Happy Birthday, sir.
I'm not sure what that was.
It is, this is the February 22nd edition of the Fun Show. It is George Washington's birthday, no matter what the
Happy birthday, Ray.
the used car salesman tried to tell you. It is also very close to Reenie's birthday, so happy birthday, Reenie. We hope
Happy
you're
birthday,
still
Reenie.
celebrating. My mother used to say any birthday that lasts less than a week is a failure. So happy
Nice.
birthday, Reenie. Happy birthday, George.
Kira's keyboard.
Kira's keyboard it doesn't seem to find a tune this morning, but other than that, or this evening, whatever it is. The hottest show on Broadway now is Hamilton, which is very interesting. It's a musical. At least they call it a musical. It's all in rap.
Really?
Yes, it's
Rap.
in whatever they call that.
That sounds like it'd
And
be interesting.
the composer of the show says that he picked rap because it allowed him to squeeze the most words into the show.
That's pretty funny.
Because he has a lot of words. And I've been talking to some of my historian friends who say that it's very, very accurate. The only problem is I have listened to it. I listened to some at the Tonys
Okay.
or something, and I can't understand a word of it, not one word.
Well, if you have
So I
here-
don't think I will buy the hottest ticket around. But the incidental benefit of this is that I have decided that this show is going to save the $10 bill.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I think the people who want Susan B. Anthony on our currency had better shift their aim to the $20 bill.
Should we mention the date of the upcoming election here in Brookline?
March 1st.
I mean, everybody.
March 1st, we have a primary.
Right.
And it might be an interesting primary, and it is a terrible embarrassment to the state of Massachusetts to have reports coming out that Donald Trump has a 34-point lead in Massachusetts.
Why is that so terrible?
You know why that's terrible.
I-
That says a lot about that percentage.
Don't even try, Michael. Don't even try.
Talking to the
I
wrong
still
people.
say he's very entertaining.
Yeah, okay.
Like a car accident entertaining.
Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Clara Bell, the president.
Oh, that,
Nice.
Is that his middle name? What is it?
I think that's his stage name, Clara Bell the clown. All he needs is one of those horns. But I mean, Dapper O'Neill was entertaining. Louise Day Hicks was entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't find him entertaining at all.
You don't find
No,
I find him
As
offensive
far as
and
I'm
rude
concerned-
and just bleh.
as far as I'm concerned, he has a AAA rating.
What do you mean
He's
by
an
that?
arrogant, adolescent asshole.
Oh, you can't say that
I
on the
can.
air.
This is cable.
You sound like Bill Maher now. You really do.
And I don't know a synonym that starts with A, and it ruins my straight A rating. Thanks.
It ruined your day.
I keep hearing this word anger.
Anger?
Anger. That people are
Yes,
angry.
they're angry.
Yeah.
And but
I'm
they
angry.
Are you
have,
angry?
I'm extremely angry.
but they have no idea what they're angry about.
Why are you angry?
I'm angry.
Because nothing?
No, it's embarrassing. You know what it is? It's that other countries are looking at us and taking this seriously, and the percentage of the country that's taking it seriously, it's appalling.
All right. Well, here's the saving grace, at least in my opinion.
But you're not angry.
And hopefully, this will be as good as my Red Sox predictions of recent years. The one thing to know about Donald Trump is that in all the polling all across the country, he is absolutely no one's second choice. And the highest he has reached anywhere so far is 35%. And what I'm telling you
That's
is
reassuring.
that
See?
I believe that is his zenith. that he'll never get above 35%, and when the rest of the clowns take their clown cars and go home, he'll still be getting 35%. But the only problem is now it looks like the only two people that are left are Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, and they're no better.
Right.
In fact, in a sense, Cruz is worse because Cruz actually believes his stuff. And the one thing that I think you can be absolutely sure about Donald Trump is that he doesn't believe anything.
No, and you absolutely know that.
He
You
doesn't
guys all
believe
know that.
anything. And
He
all his
doesn't care.
supporters are saying, oh, he's telling us the truth. The truth and Donald Trump are in different universes.
Agreed.
For 6.5 years, anyways, nothing has gone on in Congress. They say,
Yes,
Republicans say no. That's
right.
the word.
And which party is that their official policy?
Well,
It's the official, stated, admitted policy of the Republican Party to not allow anything to happen. So if you're mad at inactivity in Washington, at least know who you're mad at.
Yeah.
The president says he's going to nominate somebody now that
Well, it's his job.
Justice Scalia has been
Right.
put underground.
Then they made a big deal about his
Wait a
not
minute.
going
Wait a
to
minute.
the
He's going
funeral.
to he's naming someone.
Of course, it's his job.
Okay,
Exactly.
But they're saying no. You can't name anybody until.
They're trying.
Wait for the next president. Wait for the next president.
There's no way he's not going to name somebody.
It's
There's no way.
What is it? It's 10.5 months. Wait for
Yeah.
the next president.
Wait for the next. 4 and 4. Okay.
And I will tell you that the president will not get his nomination through. The Supreme Court will be deadlocked for the next year because no Republican dares vote for any nominee of Barack Obama because they'll be crucified in their party. They are so trapped in their ideological box that even when they know it's going to be devastating to them, there's nothing they can do about it. Because the first Republican who comes out and says, I'm going to vote for the president's nominee will be tarred and feathered and rode down the mall.
Well, they got
No.
six senators, Republican senators, who are up for re-election.
Is that all?
Anyways, they're shaky a little bit, and this is a big item, I think, across the country. If they all come out and say, no, we're not gonna elect any, we're not gonna
And
nominate.
see, the
anybody."
president's going to force them all to say that. The president's going to nominate somebody. For instance, there was a lot of speculation that the president will make a recess appointment, which has been done in the past.
Yes.
The only problem is the Republicans have figured out how for there never to be a recess. Every 3
Good.
days, they call a session, gavel it to order, and then adjourn it.
Yeah.
And the court has ruled that they're not in recess if they do that. So the old thing for 200 years of recess appointments is gone because the Republicans, to make sure nothing happens, don't allow recesses in Congress anymore.
But yeah, this is again going to, I think, influence that growing anger that has Mr. Trump moving up on the list.
I wish I had that much faith in the American electorate.
It's not a real list
Yeah, well,
that he's moving up
I
on.
think that just
But I
trying to
tell-
predict this thing is crazy.
I tell you, they don't know who they're angry at.
Well,
But-
that's
but
not- well, that's another story.
Part of the problem.
What do you got on there?
Well, I got a few things that you brought in your clippings.
Yes.
One
okay.
is that the headmaster at Brookline High School, who came in February of 2012, which
Yeah.
means that she has been there for 4 years,
Yeah.
is now publicly looking for another job.
Okay. Lupini already left. He got his.
He wasn't headmaster.
No, but I think he was one of the guys that was involved in all of this, and
All of
we have
what?
to give him credit, for
All of what?
everything
Involved
that's
with all
gone
of
on.
what?
All these.
Well, he hired her. I don't
Yeah.
know what that
Okay.
was. But, in any case, he hired her, and the Mass Commission Against Discrimination thought so little of her that they gave an $80,000 settlement to the guy he didn't hire for
Wow.
not being hired.
Mims.
And that's sort of a slap at her and Lupini, one would have to assume.
I would assume.
But the thing is that in my day, in my day, Brookline was known for the best school superintendents in the nation. And the best school superintendents, guys like Bob Sperber and stuff, they were really good.
I
We
agree.
really, really missed the boat on this Lupini character. And now,
I didn't.
I said they really missed the boat on this Lupini character. And now I read in the paper that they've picked 3 finalists to replace him. And every single one of them, apparently, on paper, is a certified 3rd or 4th stringer. So I guess, in fact,
But this is from about 12 or 15 candidates.
I can only conclude that the Brookline School Committee has given up on Brookline schools.
That's a big statement.
You know,
Well, that's Archer's. He has an individual's right to have his own opinion.
Absolutely.
and I've invested about as much in the Brookline schools as anybody in this town.
I would agree on that also. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not going to name these people. I'm not going to call out their names because I just called them 3rd and 4th stringers.
Okay, don't. Okay.
But and maybe there's a hidden gem here that we don't look
Let's
at.
hope so.
But the synopsis of their resumes are distinctly unimpressive.
Oh, okay. Well, now that we've dealt with the schools, and we still have, and we had an override last year to make money. But there's the teachers.
Yes.
Teachers are
Yes.
supposed to be getting their
Well-
salary increase.
I say they've given up and we're on the decline. It doesn't seem to be stopping the new school population flooding into town.
That's
No.
correct.
New maybe
classes.
eventually it will.
They want
Right.
they want a new school, a new K-8.
Yeah, well, we're overcrowded. I mean, maybe if they pick people like this to head the schools, we can start losing population.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of good men and women who were in the system left before Lupini left. Is that why Lupini left? President?
Is that why?
Dr.
Meaning,
Lupini.
did those
Is it
people
why he
leave
left, or
because-
is it why they left?
Yes.
Well, that's
what the question I really
there's
thought it
another-
was.
He
You-
went to he went to this agricultural school in Essex. Is that a promotion from where he is now? Or was?
Can you say step down?
I don't dare,
Step down.
because the people on the school committee wouldn't agree with that at all. That's another story.
Well, they might.
Okay.
I would like to think the people in the school committee are just overjoyed they got rid of him.
So what do you think of this fracas between, not to change the subject, between
But to
Pope
change the subject,
But to change the subject.
Francis and candidate Trump?
I vote for Pope Francis. I have Pope Francis's back on this one.
I thought it was so absolutely astounding that Trump came out and said, a religious leader has no business commenting on another person's religion. Excuse me, sir, what does the phrase religious leader mean? If anybody has a basis to comment on someone else's religion, wouldn't it be a world-renowned religious leader?
leader.
And after
I agree.
all, are you not the same person who has been spending lots of money claiming that Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio weren't Christians?
However, Pope
Yep, but it's a game for Trump. It's
critics who
all a
are
game.
conservatives, Catholics say he's too involved in politics, the Pope, and he's
When is a pope not
he
involved
has
with
a
politics?
leftist agenda. They
No,
say.
but you see, here's the plus sign. Here's the plus
I
sign
love
for
the pope,
Trump.
and I'm not even remotely close to being
Here's the funny
Christian.
thing about this on Trump. The Catholics who are supporting Donald Trump, they don't like the Pope. And that's putting it mildly.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, here is, probably the most beloved Pope in 35 years
Yep.
in the world, and American conservative Catholics hate him.
Well, we got walls and
'cause
we got
he's-
bridges, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I won't go further
Yeah,
than that.
yeah.
All right, okay, that's fair. All right. China's rural society is in a state of collapse. I don't know if you're aware of this. All these
It's been a
rural,
while that's been slowly
all these
dying.
rural villages, the kids are all leaving for better schools, and
Well,
the parents are looking for other
Or
jobs.
they're going to build iPhones or something.
And so they're abandoning these villages with, and all the people that are left are a few old folks like me. And they are ready to give in. They're throwing in the sponge.
All right, Michael, get out in that rice field and
Yeah, you want to eat, you're gonna plant and pluck.
Yeah.
start planting that rice
Well,
out there.
What's going to happen there, we don't know, but there's so much, the country is in flux with economics and everything else, and I don't know what the heck's going to happen there.
Well, it's so funny because it was a couple years ago that every single expert said that, China's economy was going to take over the world in a very short period of time, and we didn't stand a chance, and they were going to be the be-all and the end-all, and now China's collapsing, so who knows? I mean, it's come strangely enough to the only predictions you can believe on the news are the weather.
Okay.
And remember when we
even
didn't
then.
believe the weather?
Because even then, it's questionable.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Big TV Unrehearsed Thespian Society's presentation for this evening. And it is with utter delight that I announce to you that this epic has never seen the vault. This epic is brand new. It is being premiered at this very moment.
And you'll hate it more.
I think it's brilliant.
And its title is a collaboration between Mr. Sallin and Ms. Miner is Daydreams Disconnected.
Or it can be either. It could be daydreams, and then if you don't like that, you can go to disconnect.
Which is why I just put the two together.
Okay.
And now you have an actual demonstration of their collaboration.
Action.
Well, I made up my mind.
It's about time.
He admits he's got one.
Come on, what do you guys know?
You're finally packing?
Airline fees for the second bag of murder.
I should just go.
Where?
Who really cares?
I'll write you.
Phone calls are easier.
We all need a little peace.
You know you'll miss me.
Only when it snows.
What an ego.
My brain's on overload.
So it's a rest home.
More like a sanitarium.
People there seem perfectly satisfied.
You'll change all that.
Still, it's a good idea.
Getting off the merry-go-round. You said it.
Giving up the rat race.
There's too many responsibilities.
Well, you gotta be flexible.
That's his problem, all right.
I need a change.
Honolulu.
Miami?
Alaska's the place.
Man, it's man against the world there.
That's not our Joe.
A bear will get him.
The supreme test, survival.
Of course, he'd never do it.
Yeah, he does like his comfort.
I don't know, I need a challenge now and then.
Try being more flexible.
Open a hot dog stand.
No, something completely different.
Borscht with sour cream.
And pumpernickel.
Too ethnic.
Definitely for you.
Chopped herring with onions.
Fish is healthy,
I was thinking of becoming a trapper.
but you love animals.
Not snakes.
He was a kid then.
Does seem sort of childish.
Maybe a private eye.
Or a bail bondsman.
At least creativity is important.
What if I served fried calamari instead of clams?
Might work with chips.
I prefer mash,
But what really counts is one's friends.
Finally sees the light.
but it's too late.
Yeah, we're moving on.
To contemplate is to act.
What does that mean?
Life is never easy.
That's a relief.
Haven't you ever hankered to visit Mars?
Very popular these days.
I'm not joking.
No. It's a new red line stop.
Stop daydreaming.
And that red line got plenty of trouble. Yeah.
Getting a passport is a long process.
You only just learned English.
Wise guy.
Give him credit anyway.
And at his age,
And you guys are terrific.
it's taken a while.
We've come to admire you, Joe.
I truly appreciate that.
Do you have enough insurance?
And what about your will?
Guess I'll deal with it later.
Don't put off today what you can do Sunday.
It's a far better place you're giving up.
I've heard that line somewhere.
Ask Vice President Cheney.
Ha!
Actually, I think it was Dr. Carson.
Or was it Sarah Palin?
In any event, take care of yourself.
You guys really care.
We just want you to succeed.
What are friends for?
I'm glad you brought that up,
If it's about money, forget it.
We're not that close.
but I didn't expect anything.
That's perfect.
We'll take you to dinner some night.
After you get back.
Well, that's very nice, but I'm still here.
So you're just putting us on?
Well, I'm not amused.
Why are you so touchy?
This was all some kind of hallucination.
You were testing us?
This is ridiculous.
He could change his mind.
It's a big decision.
Naturally.
And we empathize.
Or is it sympathize?
Well, right now I'd like a stack of pancakes.
You could always have that.
We want to help with your plans.
Well, perhaps I could change my mind.
Yes. But we were concerned.
No matter. We've got your back.
Thanks. I feel better already.
Blackout.
Bye, guys.
Right.
All right.
Another great poem. Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Perfect.
I can bring up a really serious subject.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
In England,
Uh-oh.
they have this problem about fresh croissants.
Fresh croissants.
And
We're getting deep here.
and
It's
jet-
deep.
That's because they're bringing them through the channel from France.
No, they're baking them. They have supermarkets and big bakeries that are
Okay.
baking them, and they say it has to do with jam spreadability. The
Okay.
British supermarket chain is turning to flat croissants that are straight. The writer says, the writer of this article says, we could just stick to the toast instead of all this other stuff.
If it's flat and straight,
Why
why
don't
is
you
it a
just,
croissant?
exactly. Why don't you just make some toast?
18
Have some toast,
In
please.
1830, croissants came to France because they were in Austria first.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was in the article.
I'm glad they didn't keep the German name, whatever it was.
Anyways,
Yeah.
it's considered a major culinary snub for France. Or is it just a marketing tactic? What do you guys think
What
about
time
all
is
this?
spent on that? Why is time
Flat-
spent on
You mean
this?
flat croissants are a snub to France?
And they fit into those baking trays.
Or into the vending machines?
Yeah, well, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, is it better or worse than freedom fries?
I don't know. I kinda,
Yeah, you know,
But the story for tonight, for me, is this about truant Indian teachers who have finally got to meet a man named Manoj Mishra, a
All right,
district.
so I assume these are East Indian teachers.
I wasn't sure we were going Native
In
American.
India.
Yes, they're not the
Okay.
people on the Iroquois reservation.
No, these are real Indian people. Oh, anyways, this guy Mishra is the district education officer in India of a very popular state there called Uttar Pradesh.
Okay.
And it turns out that on any given day in the schools in India, elementary schools in particular, 40% of the district's teachers were absent on any given day. And he has become their
Wow.
worst nightmare, these teachers, because he
Oh,
decided...
he went after him?
He went to the
after
doors
them.
and started
He
knocking on
He
doors.
called them into his office.
Yeah.
And they made up all these excuses. He found out that they were living hundreds of miles away, that they used politics to get their jobs, that they
Wow.
and they had a second job that interfered with
And-
them going
and they,
to
like,
work at
never
all,
showed up.
But they were collecting for it.
They never
Anyway,
showed up.
He fired some.
crazy.
He transferred others all over the place.
Good for him.
And yes, and that's what the
Yeah.
people did. They phoned him a million times and sent him all this mail. And in England, to touch him on his feet, that's a sign of great praise. He got mobs, but they also threatened. The teachers threatened to kill him, and he had officers fights in his office. And he's carrying a gun now. And
All right. So you guys watch out. Don't mess
Now,
with
The
him.
NRA would like that.
That's a very interesting story, but I want to go back to your
Okay.
statement that these are real Indians, and the people of India were no more Indians than the people of North America were until the British came and called them Indians.
What were they before then?
Well, they were whatever they were, you know. They
How
were,
come we don't know?
Hindus.
you know, they
were all Hindu.
They were, you know,
And some
Delhi and et
Muslims
cetera,
were-
et cetera,
Okay.
the various states and
Yeah.
and the various, you know, groups and things
Okay.
that you can find in the
So a lot of different, civil
language.
groups.
But one thing they weren't is they weren't calling themselves Indians.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You know,
But their country was still India.
no, not till the British decided to call it India.
Okay. Now, was it one big state or a bunch of little things they brought together?
Well, it was a bunch of little things that they started colonizing and bringing together, and actually,
So they
interestingly,
created India.
It was all done by the British East India Company. It was all done by a private enterprise that had its own army that conquered all
And
these
then in
spaces and turned it back.
1948, the
Interesting.
British left.
Yep.
And the Empress of India and the Emperor, that was finished, okay? And then 1948, and then they assassinated Gandhi and everything fell apart, religious violence.
I believe it's pronounced Gandhi,
Gone.
because you just said Gandhi.
Gandhi. Oh,
They assassinated Gandhi.
Okay. Well,
Come on.
how are we on?
Gandhi.
All right.
We've still got a couple of
You
minutes.
did, at
okay.
least 4 minutes.
And President
3.
Obama backs national security over, what is this? That feud with Apple. Very serious, you know. The encryption,
Apple doesn't want to reveal it.
Apple says no, it'll destroy our company, and so what do we care about that?
If they subpoena it, I don't know why there isn't room for that, for it to be
Well,
subpoenaed.
the fact of the matter is, after much consideration, originally I thought they were putting the interests of their company and their profits over the national security. But I have now concluded that, in fact, what they're saying is probably true, and if they do this, it will destroy cell phones. Now, I think the world can live without cell phones, but it will be the end of cell phones.
But Snowden
Well,
says
as far
it's
as
terrible. He
private-
agrees with you. He says you can't do this. The guy in Russia that left.
Yeah.
And
Well, he
gave all
doesn't-
those secrets about.
He doesn't want everybody to be a spy like him.
No.
Without extra effort, you know.
He's got
So it's,
he has a special position in history now.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. Now, we didn't mention 80 years ago Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens?
Jesse Owens. See?
Jesse Owens, subject
is,
of a TV show now.
Race. We're
His,
gonna have a movie also. Race.
It's a good double entendre. They call it race, speaking of the fact that he was a track man engaging in races.
won 4
and he
gold
was
medals.
black. And he put it to Hitler.
He stuck it to him.
Actually, the
By
first time he won, Hitler
being
actually left
successful.
the stadium. And then the second time he won, Hitler figured he couldn't chase him out, and he actually, in fact, greeted him.
So when he came back, this is the sad part. When he came back after all these victories
Yeah.
for our country, they made a big dinner for him. He lived, I think, Chicago at this fancy hotel.
And they said, "We're sorry, sir. We can't allow you in. You're black."
That's just
You can't
terrible.
take the regular elevator. They put him on the
Even though
freight
it was a
elevator.
celebration for him, and
Yeah.
that's
They
just
put him on the freight elevator.
every time I hear stuff like that, it hurts my stomach.
It's kind of a,
Yes.
and anyways, the people in this article in the parade, the sisters said, now we can go up with the regular elevator.
Yeah.
Nobody says anything about it. It's kind of sad, they said. Anyways, it's something to think about. He was in my mind, he was a great man and a great athlete. And he went to Ohio State and he worked
Right.
hard. And
And
he
he
came
was-
from very simple
And he was
beginning.
before Jackie Robinson, right?
Right.
Okay, play.
Okay.
Play.
Wait a minute, what am I playing?
We're
I
saying
got it.
goodnight to Irene. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams.
Good night, Irene. Happy birthday, Irene. Good night,
Happy
everybody.
anniversary, Irene.
Yeah, happy
What is this?
anniversary,
What'd you say?
Irene.
68? 60
and
anniversary?
Yeah,
No, he was
68
born. They
years.
got married in 48. It's
Oh, okay.
68. We didn't talk about this, but we didn't introduce everybody. And Miss Olive is missing from the show today.
Yes,
And shows going forward until her behavior gets under control. As Arch said that she was stealing my thunder.
And she snubbed
So,
me in that other room.
I'm okay about this.
Actually, she was intending to claim that I fired Olive.
did. I mean, he did. You know.
She decided to take it easy on me.
He did. She can't go back here ever. I'm just kidding. I love you, Arch. It's all good.
I didn't say that.